Hello, welcome back to UTS RC. Today we have another vehicle to review. Let's get on it. Okay, so before I get into this review, I just want to thank Andy Robinson RC once again for loaning me this vehicle for me to review it. So, without further ado, a while back I'd been looking and I got the TRX 4M. Now, I've always been a bit of a fan of the Defender. I've always liked the Defenders. I've actually contemplated buying a Defender. However, for one reason or another, it wouldn't work. So, good old AliExpress. Now, I've looked at these before and I've sort of dismissed them because, you know, you look at it and you watch the video and you think, are they going to be a bit cheap? Are they going to be a bit nasty? But then Andy said to me, do you want to review one? I've got one. I thought, you know what? Why not? Why not? Let's have a look at it. So we have the MN98. Now there is a 99S out, but this is the 98. Now I'll be honest, when I first saw this in the bag, I changed my mind about it because it's amazing. The scale and detail on it is absolutely superb. Now, I'm not entirely sure if they are licensed because the stickers that you can get for the Land Rover Trophy are spelled Land Rover Trophy or Trophy or something a little bit odd. And the Defender signage that you can get for the front windscreen is just something like Defended. But regardless, the scale of this and the detail on it is amazing for the money. Now, I've been looking at these, and you can pick these up anywhere from £49 up to 64, I think it was, and that includes the shipping. So, yeah. Now, don't forget, these are from MN models. So this is the MN98, and with all these MN models, you can update them. You can upgrade the parts, taking them from quite high toy grade into quite a scale hobby grade vehicle that can compete in crawler events. So without further ado, let me just turn the camera around, we'll put it on the bench and we'll have a more detailed look at the MN98. So there we go. Now, I've put it on the cutting mat just so you can get a bit of a scale on it. So this cutting mat is 30 centimeters long. So you can see you're getting quite a big rig there for very, very little money. And as I said before, the detail in it is quite incredible. You know, there is something about the front end of a Defender. It looks aggressive. It looks like it's built for what it's built for. Do you know what I mean? It's like you could just take this off road and it would just work. It's brilliant. So you literally, as you see it, this is how it comes. All these inserts, everything here is hard plastic. You've got a roof rack, you've got lights that work, you've got working lights. Unfortunately, you do have indicators. Never mind. I will look to see if you can actually turn those off. You've got windscreen wipers, you've got your snorkel. I think these are just body painted arches, but the paint's lovely as well. It's a satin, it's almost like the camel yellow, but it's in a satin colour, or like a matte finish. It's really quite nice. Obviously, you've got the door hinges there, and the door handles, nice rivets along the side here. We've got the filler cap. Get to the back. A functional spare wheel. Light inserts there. Looks like we are just missing the indicator ones, but never mind. It's no big deal. The only thing I don't like about it, and I get why it's so cheap, and I don't know. I guess they're going to have to sort of do things on the cheap somehow to make them more affordable. But you don't get windows. Now I know it's easy. You just get a little bit of perspex or a little bit of what's the word I'm looking for? A little bit of the plastic you can put in there, and you can make your own, and that's fine. And to be honest with you, on this, I probably will, because it's literally just a sort of rectangular plastic that you can sort of stick and bond behind. Because looking on the inside of that, there is a lip. I don't think you can see it. It's a little bit too dark, but there is a lip in there that you can get some purchase. But there's also quite a lot along the top where you could also put some in there. But you also get a full in scale interior as well. So you could put a driver in there. You've even got cup holders. You've even got cup holders. So you could get some scale cups in there and all sorts. But don't forget, you can take these apart, so you can make them however you want. So let's just have a little look at these tyres. The tyres, they are quite tough. I don't think there's going to be any foam in them. Now, what did surprise me is they are a B-lock wheel. You can see the 3 screws there that holds those on. So you do get B-lock wheels. Now, there's nothing to stop you taking these wheels off and actually putting some metal on the inside, the wheel weights. You can get them from eBay, actual car wheel weights, or any sort of little bits of lead, little bits of metal that you can put in there, because I'm guessing that, or any weight really, would benefit this vehicle. Now, we are on the good old bouncy shocks again. Now, obviously, they will be changed, so we'll not worry too much about that. So they are a friction shock, but they do come with quite a nice sort of spring in there. Again, it's just a little bit too dark to pick it up. Can I get on that side? There, you can just see the red of the spring. So it does look the part, it looks well. So let's have a look on the underside. So as you can imagine, we still have the plastic links, plastic drive shafts. Obviously the motor and the ESC is mounted in there. On and off switch. And what I have noticed as well, we do have the servo mounted on the axle. So that's a good thing because it gives you a lot more articulation. And to be fair, out the box, it is pretty good. Can't grumble with that. Now, one thing that Andy has done here, and it does increase your turning circle or your turning distance, is putting your steering link on the very bottom of the steering arm there. So if you move this down, I think it usually comes sort of so it makes it level, so it makes it look neat. But if you put your steering link on the very bottom one, you will get more steering straight away. But we can always look on the remote as well, just to see if we can adjust that further. So I'll just put that to one side. So this is the standard MN remote. I mean, it's a basic remote. I have to remember that. The only thing I don't get is this. It looks like something out of Star Wars. In fact, I've actually just figured out what that is. That is half of the MN branding. I think it's a bull. Anyway. So, yeah. So what have we got on here? Bit hard to see. We've got a steering trim. That's all you've got. You've got, what's that? This TH rate, throttle rate, sorry. We've got your lighting setup, channel 3 minus, channel 3 plus, and of course your on off switch. So yes, so you get the thumb steer. Now, the only thing I don't like about that is because of my hand, you can't steer and throttle at the same time, or I can't. I find it's a really awkward position. It's like all this here doesn't need to be here. So if that was on the outside, you'd have a much more freedom of movement there. But it just seems that that's on the wrong side. So I might see if we can take that wheel off and spin that round, because it doesn't really matter what that looks like as long as it's functionable. But yeah, But apart from that, it's a basic remote. It does what it just says on the box. We do not have a screw for the bottom, so that's good. It is 2 AA batteries. 2 AA batteries are in there. So there we go. So I think what we really need to do is we need to get this out on our little trailing course again. Not the shed, because obviously this is way too big for the shed. And we'll go and see what it can do in standard form. Now, obviously, I am buying these cars to do up because I want to put the metal work underneath. I want to get the metal links. I want to get the metal axles. I want to get different wheels because there are, again, so many people on YouTube that have done these up and they look amazing. So, let's get this out. Let's give it a run. Let's see how it gets on. But you see, before we get there, I've got all giddy again. I'm not showing you the lights, have I? So, your battery sits under here, which is such a cool place for it to go. So we put the battery in like so. Put that in there. Okay. Remote on, you get the blue flashing. And to pair it, obviously we turn it on. Paired. And look at that. Just like that, the lights are on. Let me turn this down a little bit so you can see. Oh, look at that now. That looks amazing. I am well impressed with that. That looks super cool. So yes, you got the headlights. Oh, you've got the good old turners. Also noticed you've got little side lights as well. That's cool. Let's see what happens when you press. So it turns them off. Still get the indicators when they're off. Press again. Oh, you get the hazard lights. Now, I actually prefer it with the hazard lights. So if you press it, that looks much better. Yes, I like it. So what's happening at the back? Yeah, so we are missing them lenses, but it's not as if you can tell, is it? I like that. That's pretty cool. So what do you get when it's moving? Let me just pick it up so we can see. So we get, for some reason, red reverse lights. In the UK, our reverse lights are usually white. Forward. Oh, we get brake lights as well. Look at that. Brake lights. I like it. Cool. Right. I think it's time for you to hit the trail. Let's go. profession. I really quite like this after that. So I made Andy, I made him an offer and I bought it. So I've bought this and it's going to get upgraded. It's going to get faffed. But not only that, just a minute. Bought another one. Now I'm hoping that this one is going to be the grey and the black one, because the grey and the black one you can actually make into the pickup version. So I'm going to open this now and I'll see what it's like. So I'll be back in a minute. I just wanted to show you actually how the box comes. So there's the little lid. So there's the box. You know what I was saying before about the little on the remote? So sorry, there's the lid for the car. Look, this little bit here. I think that's the bit of the remote. Anyway, you get a bag. A nice zip tie bag like that. What's in here? What's in here? Alright, so there are all your plastic goodies, your warranty cards. Land Rover Defender. Got one of them. Alright, so it just tells you how to put your bits and pieces on the car. It tells you about the remotes, the operation, what happens if it doesn't work. Excellent, so that's that bag. Our old friend, the remote. I best not get these two mixed up. Oh, look, some stickers. Now then, you know what I was saying about the trophy stickers? The Troby, some Troby stickers, and the Defender, the Defender sticker. So I don't think it's fully licensed. I don't care. But you weren't actually supposed to get them in my pack, so I'm pleased I got them. What else have I got here? I've got some metal drive shafts. Some metal drive shafts. I did actually request those in the pack, so that's good. They've arrived. And the car itself. Let's get that out. There we go. Get that out of the way. The grey one. The grey one. I'll give him this. Everything comes packaged well, considering that's not in the original box. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Wowzers. That is a thing of beauty. You know what? I'm going to take that lid off. I'm going to take that lid off and put the little back bit on so you can see what it looks like as a pickup. Back in a minute. Well, that was a bit more of a faff than I wanted. Anyway, I've not turned my lights on. That's better. So, I just thought I would show you this before I put the lid on at the interior. Look at that, look at that interior. I think those seats maybe could have done with being a little bit bigger. Steering wheel move? Yes, the steering wheel moves. Look how cool that is. I think what I will be doing is ripping this interior out, and I think I will be putting some scale features in there, putting a bit of paint in there. Do you know, I might even see if I can get a scale Starbucks mug in there. So yeah, pretty pleased with that. Anyway, let me put the lid on and we'll have a see. I presume these little clips at the side there just fit into the existing holes. Yes, they do. And then they just push down like so. Oh, wow. That's cool. That is super cool. Bit of a faff, like I say, because you have to take off and show you at the back there. these little blocks here, they have some screws, so you have to take those screws out. But then the screws that you need to get to are right, you can't see because of the tyre, are right down at the bottom. So you have to take the tyres off. So there's 2 screws there, 2 screws just under here, and there's also 2 screws sort of just under there in line with that bit. And then you'll get the lid off, and then you just have to break a nail or two trying to get the clips out the top. But right, I'm going to end this video here now, because I've started with 1 car and now I've got 2, so I'm going to carry on putting my bits on this, and then the chances are the pair of them will be out on a trail somewhere. We'll do a short, we'll do something. But yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.